Good morning, welcome to Morning Maths, day 46. Get your pencil and pen, or pen and paper, and let's get going. Question 1, year 3, 35 times 10. It's a bit like 35 times 1, which is 35. 35 times 10 would be, well, 35 times 1 would be 35, but then there's a 0 here to place, 350. So 35 times 10 is 350. And we're on question 2. Nice and easy. Excuse me. 222 plus 555. Actually, no carrying on this one. 2 plus 5 is 7 every time. 2 plus 5 is 7. 777. Time for question 3. 154 minus 93. 154 minus 93. Pause if you need time to copy. 4 take away 3 is 1. 5 take away 9 we can't do. We get some help from this one. 15 take away 9. 6. 0 at the front. You could put it on, but it's still 61 anyway. 154 minus 93 is 61. Question 4. Quite a big multiplication here for year 3. 234 times 4. We've been doing these each day. 234 times 4. So I'll partition it first. I'm going to do the red part, the green part, and no, it is blue. Light blue part. So we'll do 200 times 4, because that 2, that's not the same red, is it? This is let's put the hats on, sorry. Units, tens, hundreds. The 2 is in the hundreds column. So we'll go 2, that's supposed to be red. I'm getting really mixed up today, aren't I, with these colours. 200 times 4, because that 2 with the red circle around it is worth 200. So 200 times 4. Then in this green part, I'm going to do 30 times 4, 3 tens times 4. And then in the light blue, I'm going to do 4 times 4. So I've got to do these 3 parts of the question. Basically, I've partitioned the 234 into 200, 30, and 4. I'm going to get 3 separate answers. 200 times 4. I'm having a right nightmare with these colours today. 200 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. Place 2 zeros. 800. 3 times 4 is 12. Place a 0. 120. 4 times 4 is 16. Now I've lined these up so that I can add them. If you see the way I've lined it up, you see down the right, so that I can add them. 0 plus 0 plus 6. 0 plus 2 plus 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 936. That's probably right. I'm going to check it with the grid method, which is very similar to what I just did. So 936. I'm going to see if I get the same with the grid method. So times in here, 234. 234 times 4. That goes there. 4 times 2, put the answers in blue. 4 times 2 is 8, place 2 zeros, because there's 2 in the question. In this box, it's going to go 4 times 3 with a 0 placed. 4 times 3 is 12, place that 0. And over here, it's going to be 4 times 4. So I'll add these 3 numbers up. 800 plus 120 plus 16, which is actually exactly what I did there, isn't it? So I won't do that again. I would just, underneath I'd write 800 plus 120 plus 16, I'd write that part, and it's definitely 196. No, it's definitely 936. 936 is the answer. I'm just going to check that because I don't know what's wrong with me today. I've said so many wrong things and picked so many wrong colours already. I better improve after this. 8 plus 1 is 9. 936. That's definitely the answer. And we're on question 5. 66 divided by 8. 66 divided by 8. So, lots of ways of doing this. One way is singing your 8s, not going past 66. It won't fit exactly, but let's sing our 8s and see what happens. 8 and 16, 24 and 32, 40, 48 and 56, then 64. And my fingers tell me that counting up to 64 was 8 fingers. I counted up to 64, but that is 66. So how many from 64 up to 66? Well, 65, 66, 2. Remainder 2. I'll do that on a number line. You start at 0, you jump up to 66, jump in 8s. So it goes, as the song goes, look for an 8 and 16, 24 and 32. I can't write as fast as I sing. Neither can you probably. 8 and 16, 24 and 32, 40, 48 and 56. Then 64. So I can get up to 64 by jumping in 8s. 8 and 16, 24 and 32, 40, 48 and 56. And 64 and 72 is the next one, which we can't do because we're ending at 66. So at the end, you just count in 1. 64 would go to 65, that's 1. 66, that's 2. That's where we get our little remainder 2 from. How many jumps was there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there was 8 jumps, which is why it is 8. And there was 2 left at the end, which is why it was remainder 2. On the bus stop, 66 divided by 8. 8 can't fit into 6, carry the 6, and you end up doing the song as you were doing there. 8 fits into 66 8 times with 2 left over, so 8 remainder 2. So whichever way you do it, you get 8 remainder 2. Year 4 time, question 6, 73 times 100. 7300 is actually the answer. 73 times 100, it will be 7300. 73 times 1 would be 73. But placing those 2 zeros would be 7,300, otherwise known as 7,300. Remember from our place value questions, this is 7,300 units, 730 tens, and 73 hundreds. That's why I could say 7,300. Question 7. Less than is minus. So biggest number at the top, 9,000. Take away the smallest number, which is not that small. It's not much less. So we're taking a lot away, which means our answer is going to be pretty small. We have to do some help. We have to get some help. Hopefully you know how to borrow all the way across like this. Just remember the last one does not turn into a 9. It stays as a 10. 10 take away 6, 4. 9 take away 7, 2. 9 take away 9, 0. 8 take away 8, 0. Oh, I didn't need those zeros. It's just 24. 24. Pause if you need more time, and we're on question 8. How many sixes in 5,112? Now, hopefully after watching morning maths a lot of time, you know that how many somethings in a something is division. How many sixes fit into 5,112? It's a division. 4 digits divided by 1 digit is what you need to be able to do by the end of year 4. How many sixes in 5? 0, carry the 5. How many sixes in 51? There'll be quite a lot. 6 and 12, 18 and 24, then 30, 36 and 42. 48. 48 is 8 fingers. Don't think I'll get any more, because the next one would be 54. And that wouldn't fit, so it's 8. I counted up to 48, and that says 51. So I count from 48 up to 51. 49, 50, 51. It's 3 units. Count on 3. It's not really units because it's the hundreds column. But I count on 3 ones when I'm counting on in this method. How many sixes fit into 31? 6 and 12, 18 and 24. Then 30. 30 was 5 fingers, and that says 31. So I counted up to 30, but that says 31, so there was 1 I didn't use. Does 6 fit into 12? 6 and 12, it does. 2 times. 852 is our answer. Question 9. Product. Product means times. 6,542 times 9. 6,542 times 9. So standard method. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 4 is 36 plus 1, 37. 9 times 5, 45 plus 3, 48. 9 times 6, 54 plus 4, 58. That's a lot, 58,878. That was quite a difficult one, so I'm going to check it with the grid method, make it small. See if I get the same on the grid. This is a big old grid method because you have to partition 6,542 up. You have to partition that up, which I have done, and you have to multiply it by 9. So 6,000 times 9. We do 6 times 9, that's 54. 3 zeros to be placed. 1, 2, 3. We do 9 times 5, that's 45. 2 zeros to be placed. 9 times 4, that's 36. 1 zero to be placed. 9 times 2 is 18. Wow. Lots of adding up to do there. I'm not going to be adding this up in my head, so I add it up with the column method. This really is the most difficult level of multiplication that we'd like you to be able to do in year 4. Hopefully you can do this now. And of course you should know that you need to do it very carefully. Don't go around thinking you're so brilliant at maths that you can just rush it and get it right every time, because that's not what happens. If you rush, I've never known anyone who rushes and doesn't make mistakes. 58878, that's the same. I'm happy with that then. 58,878. Doing both methods, of course it takes a long time, and unless you're really, really fast at these methods, I couldn't really advise that you did both in a test because it would take a lot of time. But if you are really fast, you could do both methods in a test, and you've got a test. You've got to check what you've done. Question 10. We're doing some measures. These are going to get harder over the next few days. This one is not that hard. 49 plus 584. They're both in centimetres. Of course, it would be harder if one was in centimetres and one was in metres, wouldn't it? But these are both in centimetres, so it's not too hard. You can probably guess what I'm going to do over the next few days to start making them harder. 1 plus 8 is 9, plus 4 is 13. 633. That sounds right to me. And it is centimetres. 633 centimetres. And question 11. Year 5 time. Question 11. Hopefully, as soon as you see this, you're thinking moving method. You're thinking times 1,000. You don't have to do long multiplication. It would take a long time if you did it for moving method, and most people get it wrong. Instead, you just get your 5.56. Times makes things bigger usually. 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3, means it gets 3 places bigger. So just put a point underneath, move everything 3 places bigger. 1, 2, let's put some boxes on. No, that's not. I have the luxury of being able to move this. You can't do that in your books, I know. I set it out in the wrong place. So 3 places bigger. Instead of the same place, you go 1, 2, 3, much bigger. This 5, 1, 2, 3, much bigger. And this 6, 1, 2, 3, much bigger. Decimal point should be on the line. Any gaps, you fill in with zeros. When you times things by 1,000, they get much bigger, of course, don't they? 1,000 times something makes it really big. So 5 and a bit became 5,560. Question 12. Don't be tricked by thinking 4.79 is bigger than 8. 4.79 is not bigger than 8. 8.00, you need to make it. 4.79, and then we can take it away. The trick is to put the 0.00 on to make this work. And the trick really is to understand that 8 is the same as 8.00 or 8.0. Still 8 point nothing, so it's still just 8. We need to do the borrowing because 0 take away 9 is not 9 and it's not 0. 0 take away, so we'll go and get some help. I have to go all the way over here. By the end of year 5, I find that people are good at this borrowing. 10 take away 9 is 1. 9 take away 7, 2. 7 take away 4, 3. 3 and a bit. 8 take away 4 and a bit, 3 and a bit. Number bond check, if you're good at that. 79 goes with 21 to make 100. So that looks right to me. And we're on question 13. And we're in a blue pen. That's okay. 2,986 times 27. Long old multiplication here for year 5s. Try and work on getting this sorted by the end of year 5 if you can. That would be excellent. So 7 times everything first. I'll do that in this purple. 7 times 6, 42. 7 times 8, 56 plus 4, 60. 7 times 9, 63 plus 6, 69. 7 times 2, 14 plus 6, 20. I got this question wrong yesterday, didn't I? When I checked the answers, it was wrong. So I'm going to check it before I check the answers today. Let's do the next line in red, because we've done the purple line, which was everything multiplied by 7. Now we're going to do everything multiplied by 2, which is really worth 20. So we place a 0 in, we can pretend it's 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 8 is 16, plus 1, 17. 2 times 9, 18, plus 1, 19. 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, 5. That was the red line. Right, we have to add them up at the end. Don't add up your little ones. 2, 0 plus 2, 2. 9 plus 7, 16. 10 plus 1, 9 plus 1, 10. And 2 and 5 and 1 is 8. Right, I'm doing some different checks. If I estimated 3,000 times 30, this is just an estimate to see if I'm roughly correct. 3 times 3 is 9 and 4 zeros. That says it should be something like 90,000. Well, I've got 80,622. So, yep, that is close enough. That suggests I'm okay. I'm going to go through all my times tables because that's where I made a mistake yesterday. 7 times 6, 42. 7 times 8, 56. Plus 4, 60. 7 times 9, 63. Plus 6, 69. 7 times 2, 14, plus 6, 20. Okay? And then 2 times table is a bit easier. 2 times 6, 12. 2 times 8, 16, plus 1, 17. 2 times 9, 18, plus 1, 19. 2 times 2, 4, plus 1, 5. That looks okay. Adding looks okay. I'm confident that's right today. So let's have a peep. 80,622. Yep. If I check, I'll get them right. Just if I'm lazy and I don't check, I might make a mistake. And if you're very good at maths, I imagine it's the same for you. If you're lazy and you don't check, there's a possibility of a mistake. And if you're really good at maths, you shouldn't be making mistakes. That should be your aim, that you just don't make them, because you check everything and you find them. 17 divided by 4. Divide 17 by 4. This won't work. Let's use a little trick of 17.00. I'm not sure how many zeros we needed to place, but 1, 2 or 3 doesn't make any difference. We'll place another one if we need it. Divide 17 by 4. It's a bit like dividing 17 pounds by 4. 4 into 1 is 0, carried a 1. 4 into 17, 4, 8, 12, 16. That's 4, carried a 1. Make sure this looks like a 0. 4 into 10 is 2, remainder 2. And 4 into 20 is 5. So it works out with the 2 decimal places. I find that most things work out with 2 decimal places. That's why I have the habit of putting on 2 decimal places. And also because it suits money. Money also has 2 decimal places. The answer is 4.25. 17 shared between 4 is 4.25. By the way, if you did it without the decimals, you could still get an answer. This is what year 3 do, this form of division. How many 4s in 1 is 0, carried a 1. How many 4s in 17, 4. They would just say 4, remainder 1. But in year 5, you can get a more accurate decimal answer, which is often better. Depends what the word problem might be that you're dealing with. But usually, if it doesn't say anything else, I prefer to get the decimal answer once we're in year 5. Let's go to question 15. It's trying to trick you a little bit, this one. Some of these are pence and some of these are pounds. Okay? I'm going to start with 43 pounds because that's much bigger than 78p or 8p. So I'm going to start with 43 pounds. I'm going to need a decimal point on that, 43.00. Let's line up the decimal point all the way down. There's 4 parts of the question and there's an answer. But every decimal point should be lined up. So we did 43 pounds. Oh, 1.45, that'll fit on nicely here, 1.45. Then be very careful about where you put the 78p, because it's not pounds, it's pence, it's over here. It's £0, 78, isn't it? The 8p, that's tiny. That's £0, 08. So this could be tricky with the lining up if you're not careful. Right, now just some adding. Adding 4 numbers, good practice of that. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 5 is 21. 4 plus 7 is 11, plus 2, 13. 3 plus 1 plus 1, 5, and 4 at the front. £45, 31 pence. Put the pound sign on. Don't put the pence sign on, because you only have pounds or pence. If you had done it all in pence, the answer would be 4,531 pence. But you don't do pounds and pence on the same number. Let's go to question 16. Right, speed of year 6 work now. 42 divided by 100. 42 divided by 100. 42, place decimal point, 2 places smaller. 1, 2. Becomes 0.42. Quick moving method, 0.42. Question 17. This space just means a comma, as we saw yesterday. 7, 8, 9, 6, 7. 4, 5, 8, 2, 6. Be very careful when you're copying down questions which have big numbers in. Easy to copy them down wrong, then you'll get it wrong. 7, 8, 9, 6, 7. 4, 5, 8, 8, 2, 6. Okay, we'll do the add-in. Let's just check, because that was a lot of add-in to do. Don't want to make a mistake. 14. Okay, 124,793. And we're on question 18. 599 times 23. Okay. Long multiplication, I think, for this question 18. 599 times 23. It's like £6 times 20, that's an estimate. 6 times 20 is 120, so it should be something like 120 in the end. Just very roughly. 27 again, but 29. 17. Done that. Place 0. Cross out those. Now I've done that so quickly, it's going to need a lot of checking if I'm going to be definite that it's right. All these 7s. 130. What is this? Well, I need the decimal point, 2 decimal places. Oh yeah, I thought it'd be about 120, didn't I? And it turns out to be 137.77. So that's in the same kind of area. And I estimated £6 times 20, and it's really times 23. So it would be a bit bigger than 120. So that makes sense. So I'm happy with that. Just going to check my times tables. Looks okay to me. £137. Is it pounds? Yeah, £137. £137.77. We're on question 19. Right, long division. Well, with what many of our teachers call key facts chart, which is the 24 times table. I often see people writing their 24. They just go 24. They know the next one's 48. They know the next one is whatever it is, 72, I think. But I actually find it quicker, just more reliable to do the plus every time. Just do the plus 24 every time. I actually find it easier for my brain. My brain can rest because it's almost like my hands are doing the work. Whereas if I'm trying to do it all in my head, it tires out my brain. Guess it's up to you what one you prefer. 120 is half of 240, so we're right at halfway point, which is 5 of them. We're right there. I often stop at 5, don't I? This has actually been quite easy, so I've carried on. I'll probably stop here and see if that's enough. 24, 48, 72, 96, 120, 144, 168. Let's see if that's enough to do it. 24 into 1, 0, carried a 1. 24 into 15, 0. 1, 5, 6. Actually, I've just got enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fits in. 6 was 144, that says 156. The difference between 144 and 156 is 12. If you need to, you do a little column method minus. Having 24 is 129. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remainder 9. And 96 is on my list, so I'm very happy with that. The fourth one. If there's no remainder, I'm going to be confident that's right on these long divisions. 654. Finally, question 20. To find that missing box, in this case, we'll have to do a minus. It's not always a minus. Sometimes it's a plus to find a missing box. The main thing is you check what you put in and make sure it makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should be doing a plus. I'll check at the end so I know either way. Don't go around believing you're so brilliant you never make a mistake. That's what I'm always saying to children, especially those who are really good at maths. Otherwise you end up like me yesterday making a mistake. 6.43. Let's see if that makes sense. Let's just forget about the decimals for a minute. 8 is 6 less than 14, isn't it? So 8 and a bit is 6 and a bit less than 15. That actually makes that make sense. If we added them together now, they'd make 15, 14, and those 57 and 43 are number buds to 100. So I'm happy that's right, 6.43. That was question 20, and we're done. Not 26. Make sure zeros look like zeros, or people with hair. And we go on to the answers. 6.43 was the last one. Check all your answers. Of course, on number 17, that's just a comma, that space, same as a comma. And I'll see you again next time. Thanks for listening.